Over the years, it's become one of the best atmospheres in all of college hockey. Welcome to Robert Ava Glaven Ice Arena in Big Rapids, Michigan. Two teams battling for playoff positioning. It's Northern Michigan tonight taking on the Bulldogs of Ferris State. And let's take a quick look at the CCHA standings. No doubt, the Wildcats and the Bulldogs are trying to get home ice for that first round in the CCHA. And we welcome in Dave Starman. Dave, Green Bay, frozen tundra. No, I think it's right here in Big Rapids, Michigan. What does the thermometer say tonight?
The thermometer, Matt, says 0.
Oh, no.
Now, I remember doing the Florida College Classic 5 years ago. That was nice. The temperature is more along right there. Not tonight. I'll tell you what, it's getting colder out here. Hopefully it warms up inside.
Well, the Northern Michigan Wildcats know all about the cold, and let's take a look at their team resume from the UP.
You know, I like the team that they bring here. They're a young team that's going to continue to improve. They play a hard-nosed style, and they've been good as of late, with the exception of last weekend. The thing that they rely on is Nick Serrata. He's got a bit of a groin injury. It's hampered him a little bit. And the problem is, it's just slowed him down.
Yeah, Nick Serrata's been a terrific player all season long, no doubt about it.
Yeah, he really has. And the thing I like about him is he's a hard-nosed worker, and he really grinds things out.
Meanwhile, for Ferris State, you come to Big Rapids, you got to talk defense, Dave, because the Bulldogs are one of the best teams on the defensive side of the puck in the entire country.
Yeah, they really are. The best part about Ferris State defense is their depth. They had 8. They had to move Zarb up as a forward because they had a couple of right wings that were injured. But they've got 7 guys who fight for 6 spots. Bob Daniels likes the way that looks.
From a defensive standpoint, we're deep, and maybe as good a defensive core as I've appreciated in my 16 years there. And I think it's as good a D core as you'd see the top 5 teams in the country.
And his blue line here in Big Rapids is anchored by Big Adam Welch.
You know, the thing about him, he's a 3-year captain. This guy was a captain as a sophomore. Speaks quietly, plays hard, leads by example every night.
Night number 2 of life in the CCHA is ready to unfold. Dave and I are frozen. We're going to head out of the chill for this conference showdown. It's Ferris State and Northern Michigan. We drop it next.
I'm Chad Johnson, and I am a GoDaddy customer. As the world's #1 receiver, I want to be with the world's #1 domain registrar, and that's GoDaddy. Whenever I'm not working out, you can find me working on my website. GoDaddy has everything you need to get online. .com names, website builders, hosting, email, you name it. GoDaddy. GoDaddy. .com name for just $1.99. Go get yours and tell them Ocho Cinco sent you.
Sunday, Dr. Brady Barr enters the world of the hippo.
This is a really, really dangerous animal.
By becoming one. And he'll do it in a 200-pound hippo suit.
I'm gonna get inside the suit and approach them.
In the middle of a swamp.
He's looking right at me.
At night.
Oh no. This is killing me.
Dangerous Encounters Undercover Hippo premieres Sunday at 9 on Nat Geo, Channel 276.
The phone company has an important message for its customers. Don't listen to Vonage.
Well, over 2 million people have already switched to Vonage.
Oh, really?
With Vonage, you get unlimited local and long-distance calls for just $24.99 a month.
Unlimited for just $24.99?
What do you charge?
Hey, for over 100 years, the only thing we've changed is...
Your prices?
Whoa.
Sign up now with Vonage and get 1 month free using your high-speed internet connection.
Call 1-800-425-4159 or go online today.
My name is Kelly Alexander, and I won the DirecTV Home Free Sweepstakes.
We were moving from LA to Virginia.
And now DirecTV is paying our rent for an entire year. All we had to do was call Movers Connection before we moved, and they took care of everything else.
We literally just unplugged the receiver, grabbed the remote, and that was it.
And it was completely free and really easy.
Call DirecTV prior to your move, and you could be living rent or mortgage free for an entire year.
I do miss the LA weather.
But we never miss writing that rent check. Yeah, we won. Woo!
Why do you go to Fanstore.com?
His dad needs a new Gator Golf Club cover.
We want bigger umbrellas for those Miami Hurricanes.
My son's getting his very first Yankees hat.
My wife would go wild for a Kentucky watch.
Get your butt in gear. Go to Fanstore.com now and get free shipping on all orders over $75. Just enter the code MyCSTV, all lowercase, to receive this exclusive offer. Fanstore.com, the first place to shop for every team you love.
College basketball is in high gear. Watch DePaul take on Notre Dame Tuesday at 8. NCAA Women's Basketball. Possession CSTV.
NCAA Hockey on CSTV is being brought to you by Energizer E² Lithium. Keep going. Welcome back, everybody, to Big Rapids. The Robert Ava Glavin Ice Arena here. And let's take a look at the coaches in this one. For Northern Michigan, Walt Kyle, a former National Hockey League assistant in Anaheim and New York. He is the bench boss, just the second in the history of the program at Marquette. And the veteran, 16th season in Big Rapids, Bob Daniels. One win short of 250. He has done a nice job here with the Bulldogs over the seasons. Let's take a look at the goaltenders in this one. Starting for the Wildcats of Northern Michigan, it'll be the Burnaby, British Columbia native Brian Stewart. Stewart's numbers 5, 10, and 1 with a goals against average of 2.95. And tonight for the Bulldogs of Ferris State, getting the call, number 1, Mitch O'Keefe. O'Keefe so far with a mark of 5-4-2, but look at that saves percentage, 3rd in the NCAA. Excellent goaltending here in Big Rapids, to say the least. So we are set to get her underway. It's a weekend of CCHA hockey. The referee is Matt Chigos. The assistant referees tonight, Mike Elder and Eric Smeevil. Oh, by the way, it was 0, Dave, when we did our open outside. It was balmy back then because it has gone to -2 Fahrenheit.
How much warmer in the press box?
Underway as Ferris State will try to bring it early, and it's knocked out of there and cleared right back. Evan Case will flip this one, and it goes out of play, so they'll mark the face-off in the neutral zone. Let's take a look at the key line tonight for the Wildcats.
Well, the Wildcats are a balanced team, and this is their big line of Sars, Siddle, and Serrata. And Serrata, once again, he's kind of nursing a bad groin. He's been hampered with it. Those groin injuries are funny. Some nights you can feel great. Other nights, doesn't work out as well.
Serrata was unstoppable in the first half of the season, just scoring at will at times as the puck is played right back to the line. In over the line, shot on! And O'Keefe makes the save. Canisto that time went hard to the front of the Bulldog net. Key lines, we showed you Northern. Let's show you Ferris.
Well, Ferris State is known more as a defensive team, but they get offense and they get it from this line. And the guy that can make this line go is their senior center, Adam Miller. He's a fun-loving, class clown kind of guy. Keeps that line loose, and he's got tremendous offensive skill, bringing that package here from the Des Moines Buccaneers.
Off the face-off, and the Ferris State Bulldogs will control it. Ferris wearing that maroon and gold, the home, and Northern Michigan wearing the green, trimmed in gold. As we scroll through those Northern Michigan lines at the top of your screen, thanks for joining us. A weekend in the CCHA. We had that Michigan-Notre Dame tremendous hockey game last night, and a shot on is stopped that time. O'Keefe makes his second save of the early going, and it's cleared out of there right back to center. Miller has it now for Ferris, and he'll dump it into the left wing corner. Giving chase there, the defenseman Cosgrove for Northern Michigan. He'll flip it along. Connolly couldn't keep for Ferris, and it's cleared out of the right back to center ice. Siddle, who is a Atlanta draft pick. They picked him, I believe, in the 9th round, and it's played out of there and all the way back down the length of the ice. May, and he'll play it in behind the net for the Wildcats. Gives it off there for Gustafson. Pearson from the dog pound, which is down to our left. That's the student section. Fox to the front, and the Wildcats can't finish it off.
Now you're starting to see early on in this game why Ferris State has got a top-ranked defense in the country.
Redmond right to the net. Big save, Brian Stewart, and he holds on.
Brian Stewart takes the #1 job here, and he has begun to run with it. A couple things that we are looking at certainly tonight. Screens, tips, and deflections, I think, for Northern Michigan are going to be important, getting in front of the big guy, O'Keefe. For Ferris State, aggressive offensively. They know they can defend. It's a matter of getting it going the other way. Bottom line, Matty, I think Ferris State at home, especially early, needs to dictate the tempo of this game.
Redmond will ship into the corner. Everybody thinks defense when you talk about the Bulldogs of Ferris State, but we talked to Northern head coach Walt Kyle. He said, hey, they can bring it. Very good skating team. Shot on and almost in off the skate of Spady. And again, Brian Stewart had to be very, very sharp. But I think Walt Kyle brings up a very good point.
He's not the only coach in the conference who said it. It's funny you should mention it. I talked to Doc Del Castillo a little while ago from University of Alaska, and he said Bob Daniels has been known through this conference for his really go-get-em, get-up-and-go style in terms of getting pucks to the net and creating offense.
Redmond in front, just deflected wide. Hanging out in front that time was Haynes. Now the puck will be played in behind the net. Fillinger down low trying to keep it deep there for the Bulldogs of Ferris State. Zarb as well. Zarb, the big defenseman, is a Philadelphia draft pick. Chris Zarb will keep an eye on him tonight as Maltese will get it out for Northern. Hartung now will bring it into the zone as he carries it into the left wing corner. Now behind the net, Maltese couldn't keep it, so Dorich will dump it deep for Northern Michigan. Early on, no score tonight. 17:26 remaining in the opening period tonight from Big Rapids. And thanks for joining us. NCAA hockey right here on CSTV as it's dumped right back and dumped deep as Northern goes to the line change.
The big boy, TJ Miller of Northern Michigan, got a little handcuffed at the left point there. He had a puck that was really bouncing and spinning. He looked like he wanted to bend down to stifle it, and that would have possibly caused transition the other way. He might have gotten caught.
Now in front, a chance that time. Cody Chupp sent it wide. This one's flipped out of there. Dave, I can't remember the last time I called a hockey game where our vantage point was so incredibly close to the ice. We're only about 10 rows up, so keep your eye on the clearing attempts, okay?
Is that why you're wearing a helmet?
Yeah, I could have used a helmet or a hat outside when we did the open when it was 0
I'll tell you what, if that theory of you lose a lot of body heat through the top of your head has any merit, I could have proved it. Because I was freezing and there's not much to keep the heat down.
Hey, you said it, not me.
I figured I'd beat you to the punch.
Spady will bring it out now. Hansen moves it across center ice. Hansen now for Northern Michigan going wide, trying to get it in front. Butcher down low, and yeah, that's Garth Butcher's kid. Garth Butcher, a former National Hockey League defenseman in Vancouver and St. Louis. Butcher having a pretty good year. His son is a center, centering that second line for Northern Michigan as the puck is played in behind the net.
And he's having a good battle with Welch down low, and Welch is a big man with a big wingspan, and he uses his stick well.
Here's a chance in front. Northern back out high. They'll give it off that time into the corner, but nothing but Bulldogs. And it'll be played out of the zone and all the way back inside the Wildcats blue line. No score early tonight. 15:42 remaining opening period.
Good pace to these first 5 minutes. It's gone Ferris's way.
Miller cuts it in behind the net for Ferris, trying to get it in front. Nothing but green jerseys there. And Sirota will get it outside the zone. To the line, Connolly. Now Connolly turns it the other way for Ferris. Dorich will advance it now for Northern, and Serrato will get it right back in behind the net.
Serrato's doing a nice job bracing himself when he gets hit to protect his body.
This one sent towards the net by Serrata. And it's cleared out of there and all the way back to center ice. Miller now for Northern Michigan, the defenseman TJ Miller, who's a Devils draft pick. Jorgensen will play it in behind the net. Now Matt Case for Ferris will play it on left wing for Connolly.
Walt Kyle telling us earlier this week that TJ Miller's really only begun to scratch the surface of his ability. He is going to be a good one, and the Devils don't make many bad draft choice picks when it comes to college players.
Shot from the point, and that's deflected up off the netting and out of play. Early on, we played 5-18 in Big Rapids. No score, Bulldogs and Wildcats.
I tackled new challenges and got a new view on life.
I got involved and met new friends.
I went to Northern Michigan University for me.
Thousands of students each year enter into one of nearly 200 academic programs offered at Northern Michigan University.
And each full-time student is issued a notebook computer.
The rest of your life begins now.
Northern.
Naturally.
I was an offensive lineman for 4 years. I no longer wear pads, but I still carry a lot of weight on my shoulders.
There are over 380,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of them will be going pro in something other than sports.
Imagine a university with everything you've been looking for.
Small classes taught by professors with real-world experience. Interactive learning and a practical approach to education. Students with unique backgrounds, sharing common interests. At the forefront of Michigan's changing economy for over 120 years, Ferris State University is a gateway to endless opportunities. Ferris State University. Imagine more.
We talked to Walt Kyle earlier this week. He said this year we have a really tough schedule. The truth is, we're a team that's growing and trying to become better. We have to take it one game at a time. Our goal is to continue to become a better team. Who we play doesn't matter.
You look at last night's numbers, a tough one for the Wildcats and Walt Kyle. They battled back from a 3-1 deficit. Siddle getting the goal to make it 3-2, but O'Keefe just 18 shots faced in that one, the Ferris goaltender. Meanwhile, Stewart very busy at the other end, seeing 35 Ferris shots.
By the way, I like the mock neck look of Walt Kyle. Very Dick Umili of the University of New Hampshire in the look.
Well, it's a little more laid back in the UP as this one's sent on to Brian Stewart. And we'll get a whistle and a stoppage of play. Well, Ferris might have some of the momentum heading in, but you look at the series history, no doubt it's been pretty much Northern Michigan.
They've always had a strong program, whether it was under Rick Comley or under his protege. And Walt Kyle, they've been a big, aggressive, physical team. They have a national title to their credit back in 1991, and they're a team that can bring it. They can bring it hard, and they're really physical, and that's been their trademark.
I'll tell you what, when you come to Big Rapids, though, it is a snake pit, to say the least. You talk to any team in the CCHA, this has got to be one of the last places they like to go on the road, as the puck is played all the way deep. Welch will play it in behind the net. He got upended. Puck is not free. 4 players battling for it deep inside the Ferris State zone. This one played to the front. Chance there, stopped O'Keefe, and he holds on. Mitch O'Keefe sharp early for the Ferris State Bulldogs.
And they're a team that has been stingy defensively. They're a good puck control team, which I think helps them out. But the thing that I think Ferris does very well is create backside pressure and get back to help out their goaltender. This was a little bit early. Watch 9 White coming into your screen. There's a shot, and there he is, Connolly, coming back to pick up a loose rebound. So they stack 2 across so they can force the attack wide, and their forwards get back and create backside pressure and pick up loose pucks, and that's good team defense.
So Welch will set it up in behind the net for Ferris State. Backhands one along. Riley will get it outside the zone. Now Menke headmanning it into the corner as Cody Chupp will chase it. Gustafson is in the corner as well for Northern. Pretty good one-on-one battle. Now 2-on-2. Chupp comes away with it. Cody Chupp has it. Still puck possession. Good job there by Bob Daniels' forward of Ferris State. Puck play to the line, and this one's knocked away but not out.
Chupp is the kind of kid, he wants to use his speed and his physical play as often as he can. Likes to get a big hit early. Told us this morning, you know, I think the key to my game really is my speed and my physical play to get my offense untracked.
Now Marple will bring it along, leaves it for Maltese. Shot stared aside that time by O'Keefe. And right back to center come the Bulldogs. Menke will send one in. No score, just under 13 minutes remaining in the opening period. Thanks for joining us tonight for NCAA hockey right here on CSTV. 2 teams right in the middle of the pack of the CCHA, battling it out, trying to get that home ice. That, I would imagine, Dave, right now is the goal, not only for Walt Kyle, but also for Ferris head coach Bob Daniels, as Miller will get it out of the zone. Now Miller that time moves it along. The other Miller, the defenseman TJ Miller, had fallen down, and now TJ will clear it back to center before it's intercepted. And this one right back to the Ferris blue line before we get a whistle and an offside. We've talked a lot about the defense, and here's some notes regarding Ferris State's ability on that side of the puck.
Goaltending's a big part of it. O'Keefe has been very good, and their ability once again to take away the middle of the ice, to keep pucks going forward. They're the kind of team that can play puck possession. Also, one of the keys for them, Matt, a lot of times they'll have the puck in their own end. They'll put the puck in the air, skate underneath it, try to catch it as it comes down and force defensemen into making mistakes. Has been very effective in helping them keep pucks out of their own end and not get transitioned the other way.
Derek May flipped it in, but it's knocked there by Zach Redmond. And now Ferris will get it out quickly. They try it on left wing for Embach. Derek May takes it away, and now Hansen will play it in front for Northern to his teammate Blake Cosgrove.
Where you watch this Mbach kid on film, and he can really go. He makes things happen, and he's tough not to notice when he's out there.
Hansen now, side of the net, he hit the outside. Now Hansen has it again for Northern, comes in front. And a shot that time just wide by Spady. Goes in behind the net. Big scrum, and now it's taken away by Redmond, and he'll flip it along to Mbach. And here come the Bulldogs. As Ferris will get it right to the line. Mbach bumped off the play. Spady couldn't hold, and so it's played right back in.
He hesitated for a second, did Mbach, in terms of chipping it deep. And those are the turnovers that Ferris State wants to avoid, and for the most part have been very successful in doing.
Evan Case looks to flip it along. Spady couldn't keep the right point. 2-on-1 now with Fillinger. Fillinger holds, got it towards the front. Oh, what a play by Gustafson to break it up. Fillinger now tries to move it along. Gustafson with a play defensively of the period so far for the Wildcats. Sauer will bring it along this time, but it's taken away, and here come the Bulldogs. Fillinger again. He had that 2-on-1 just moments ago. This puck rolls right to the front. It's underneath Stewart, but not frozen and knocked free, and it's playing the other way, and now we get a whistle, and it looks like the goaltender Brian Stewart is injured. Well, Stewart is kind of rolling around in the crease. And we'll check. Northern and Ferris, no score. Hope the goaltender's okay back after this.
Personal foul? Inactive activities on a glorious day. Huh? Let's get out there and play!
Sweet.
Ooh, freeze!
When do I get to be in?
Uh-oh. Hey, Reggie, frozen people can't talk.
PLA!
An hour a day.
I'm it. There are lots of great play ideas online, but don't stay too long.
There'll come a day when you'll wonder. You'll think back to how you used to listen. Before you heard your music, your sports, your talk, all from the same place. And you'll wonder how you ever got along without it. Serious. Everything else falls short. Over 130 channels. Only one place to get it all. Sirius Satellite Radio.
Hi, I'm Chuck Norris. Today there are more gimmicks than ever that promise to get you into shape. And yet, more Americans are out of shape than ever before. Why? Because gimmicks don't work. For over 30 years, I've used the Total Gym for one reason. It does work. And it works faster than any piece of equipment I've ever used. A few minutes a day is all you need to get in the best shape of your life. It replaces an entire gym full of equipment. The Total Gym does it all. Now, for the first time ever, you can try a Total Gym absolutely risk-free for an entire 2 months. 2 months? Wow. Okay. But believe me, it won't take 2 months. You'll be hooked on it the first time you try it.
To try your Total Gym risk-free for 2 months, call 1-800-609-7211. That's 1-800-609-7211. Call now.
Enjoy the most college hoops in the nation on ESPN Full Court from DirecTV. With key matchups from some of college basketball's top conferences, ESPN Full Court takes it to the hoop with up to 30 games per week from outside your local area. The season is heating up. Order ESPN Full Court today for only $75. To order, dial 1-800-GET-SPORTS or log on to directv.com/fullcourt. ESPN Full Court from DirecTV. Order now.
No score tonight between Northern Michigan and Ferris State. More importantly, it looks like Brian Stewart's okay. A little bit of a collision with his own player.
Yep, chance in front of the net. He tried to get it covered, and there he got kneed by his own player. You better look here from behind the net, and there's the knee to the head, and his neck went to the right, shook him up a little bit. And better safe than sorry in terms of trying to get right back up when you don't know what happened.
You've had a few of those in your career, right?
7 concussions is not fun to have.
How many?
7.
You've had 7?
I scratch my head sometimes I forget my name.
No wonder you're so goofy. So Ferris will dump one in. Played in behind the net. Stewart sets it up there for T.J. Miller. Now Allen Alan Dorich out of Orland Park, Illinois will get it back to center ice. Dorich now has to set it up inside of his own zone for Miller. And the puck sent all the way down, and we get an icing call here against Northern Michigan. You look over the last 4 years, and you know, Northern Michigan's one of those teams always ready for the upset, pretty good. Well, they won it all back in the early 90s, but here are some of the numbers, and all the way down to a 2.27 back in the 04-05 season in terms of goals against.
And they've also benefited from not only good goaltending, but under a pro coach like Walt Kyle, you're going to get a team that's going to play very disciplined defensively. They've been pretty savvy away from the puck, I think, in the last couple of years, and that certainly has been a bonus.
Played out of the corner, and now they'll get it right back through center. Good clear by the Wildcats that time. As chasing it down into the corner it goes. Mark Alper couldn't keep it, and so it's turned the other way, and a 2-on-2 now. Menke over the line for Cody Chuck. Shot on. Stewart makes the save, and he holds on. And getting back to Northern and Walt Kyle, you mentioned, we mentioned his resume a little bit earlier in the year. Dave, what is the difference? I mean, you're an assistant coach in the National Hockey League, all of a sudden a head coach in college. How do you make the adjustment?
I think you have to scale yourself down because pros are going to be a lot more savvy in terms of their base of knowledge of the game. And the one thing that he talked about was with a pro, you can draw something up, walk them through it on paper, and they can do it, as opposed to the college kids where he feels they're, like Jeff Jackson has said, they're kinesthetic learners. You'll walk them through things on the ice, and they can get it, but you need to scale back the sophistication that you're throwing at them on a day-to-day basis.
Now Miller will skate it out. Adam Miller for Ferris. Try to get it in front. This one's knocked away by Butcher. Butcher tries to get it out. He will. Harding helped him out as well. And now Lewandowski gets it right back for Ferris. Ooh, he got drilled. Big hit that time out of Northern's Derek May. And it's cleared right back to center. Flipped along, and this one over the glass and out of play. Well, speaking of coaches, that brings us to tonight's trivia question. Ferris State head coach Bob Daniels is just 1 win shy of 250 for his career. We want to know which team did he earn his first victory against. Think about that for a while, and while you're thinking about that and mulling it over, how about a big hit, Dave?
Well, if Lewandowski had the answer, he might have forgot it after getting tattooed into the boards. Lewandowski's brother, by the way, was also a member of the Bulldogs, member of that 2003 CCHA championship team.
Now Mbach will leave it there. Holding on to it is Dollinger. Now Dollinger in behind the net. Gives it off to Lewicki. Dollinger and Lewicki still battling for it for Ferris. Mbach kind of took a look in front. Redmond couldn't keep the point, and it's cleared out of there back to center.
Puck bounced on him as it came to him, and I thought he made a smart play by not trying to overplay the keep and risk getting transitioned on. Wojteka and Redmond play together, and they're both freshmen. And they have done very well in terms of adapting to the way the game is played. The puck comes back towards the point, and it hits something. Redmond bailed quickly, and look at Wojteka coming back to support him. Great anticipation from the weak side defenseman to support his partner.
Now the Wildcats will dump it right back in.
Matt, there's no building I have seen that has such crazy bounces as this one.
Back in, shot over the top of the net, wide open for Chris Zarb. Great look that time, and the puck is played right back in behind the Wildcats net. Stewart's got some happy feet, so we'll leave it in behind the net. They try to put it in front. Taking a look is Fillinger, and now side of the net. Oh, and Redmond coming down low. Close call that time, and Brian Stewart's able to make the save. Zarb has it again. Zarb got picked. And now Northern's JT Dollinger will get it out of the zone and right back to center. Turn the other way, and Chris Zarb has it.
Good opportunity for Zarb, the converted defenseman, who has really shown great play as a forward. I mean, he has really picked up the position and run with it.
Dorich with it. He'll go quickly to center. Looking for Serrata. Now this one's set on, and a stop by Brian Stewart. Oh, what a good look for Justin Menke, and the Bulldogs are starting to bring it. No score from Big Rapids.
Every day, children are sexually solicited online. Visit cybertipline.com to learn how to protect your kids' online life.
Hi, I'm Chuck Norris. Today there are more gimmicks than ever that promise to get you into shape. And yet, more Americans are out of shape than ever before. Why? Because gimmicks don't work. For over 30 years, I've used the Total Gym for one reason. It does work. And it works faster than any piece of equipment I've ever used. A few minutes a day is all you need to get in the best shape of your life. It replaces an entire gym full of equipment. The Total Gym does it all. Now, for the first time ever, you can try a Total Gym absolutely risk-free for an entire 2 months. 2 months? Wow. Okay. But believe me, it won't take 2 months. You'll be hooked on it the first time you try it.
To try your Total Gym risk-free for 2 months, call 1-800-609-7211. That's 1-800-609-7211. Call now.
The Phenom, BJ Penn, is on a mission to win a UFC championship on January 19th.
Here we go, BJ Penn!
Penn battles the powerful Joe Daddy Stevenson for the UFC World Lightweight title. And hard-hitting Gabriel Gonzaga goes to war with Fabricio Verdun. The Ultimate Fighting Championship presents UFC 80 Rapid Fire, live January 19th from Metro Radio Arena on DirecTV pay-per-view.
Thanks, Adam. And Dave and I will also spend some time with the Wildcats' Nick Serrata. Coming up at the first intermission, we'll also take a look at the highlights and stats from that first period of play. Good chances at both ends, and like we saw last night in Ann Arbor between Notre Dame and Michigan, some very good goaltending. This one's sent, and again, Stewart stops it. Menke, that time, found himself wide open in the left circle. We'd like to welcome everybody to Big Rapids, Michigan. 8:30 in the east. That means 5:30 in the west. With Dave Starman, I'm Matt McConnell. A good one developing tonight in the CCHA between Northern Michigan and Ferris State. Neither team able to score. Take a look at some of the numbers at the top of your screen, and this one covered up again by Brian Stewart.
Ferris State starting to dictate the pace. And Chupp is one of those players that can help do that with his speed and with his size, gets pucks moving to the net. He wins a lot of battles, and I think that really is the key for Chupp. And his physical fitness is something that carries him through. Matt, he was a runner when he was in prep school, a track star, a cross-country, track and field, a very versatile athlete, and that has really helped his conditioning.
So the Wildcats will get it out through center. Here's Butcher with it. Now Butcher getting through traffic. He'll take it into the corner. He's got a lot of size, just like his dad, Garth. No doubt about it. Matt Butcher, a Vancouver draft pick, couldn't handle it, so it's taken in behind the net. And Matt Case will try to get it out. Good keep that time by Butcher. Down low it goes. Wildcats try to get it in front. Spady has it. He'll give it off. And a shot taken that time is blocked away. Eric Gustafson had a pretty good look. And now Gustafson back at center ice just kind of cuts off the pass, and he'll dump it back inside the the Ferris zone. Gustafson right in the middle of it again. They try to set it up, and now Connolly is there. Connolly battling for Ferris, and it'll be taken away, and into the zone it goes for Miller. Now Miller loses it, so Oliver will take it away for Northern. And he'll bring it along. Hansen gets it right back to the Ferris line. Oliver has it down low. Took a little bit of a bump that time, and a big hit. Connolly. Penalty going to come up here against Ferris. Ferris is going to get the minor. Oliver's right back up. Now the puck to the line. Dorich is shot right on. Keefe. Oh, Keefe can't make the save. Out of the line it goes. Delayed call. Northern still with the puck. They pull the goaltender for the extra attack around the delayed penalty. Dorich, his shot towards the net, and finally handled by O'Keefe. And we'll get a whistle here. So the Bulldogs are going to be shorthanded, and Northern will go to the power play.
Yep, Chigos gets him for boarding in the corner, so Northern will get that opportunity, as you mentioned. Good hard work down low, and that battle in the corner. Connolly comes in, and there's the penalty. And if you're asking why it's not hitting from behind, Connolly came at him from the side, but he did drive him into the boards, and that is why he is going to get the call. Actually got called for holding, but I thought it was boarding when I saw the original call.
I agree with you too. So Bob Daniels' team is going to go shorthanded. And The power play unit out right now for Northern Michigan. Gustafson and Spade at the point man. Serrano with that big blast, and it's stopped by O'Keefe. Keep an eye on 20 Green. He'll be set up on the left side. Down to the line, Sauer couldn't keep as the pass is deflected down the length of the ice.
They read the play very well, does the Ferris State penalty killing unit. They're in passing lanes and they have active sticks. They really harass power play units and they don't give them a lot of time.
Play wide. Now Ferris will try to get it out, and they do, down the length of the ice.
You have to be careful if you're Ferris State. A lot of teams, when they get the puck down low and they get a chance to get it out, they might like to go high in the air and dump it out. This is a low ceiling. So Ferris State has been very, very good at getting pucks out of the zone, but not sending pucks into the ceiling where they're going to wind up with a face-off back in their own end.
It was a boarding penalty. As you take a look at the numbers, Northern Michigan, their power play is really, really struggling, and it's a part of the game they're going to have to get it turned around. Penalty coming up here, and it looks like it's going to go against Ferris. Delayed call, so Cosgrove will move it along.
Get it in, get it in.
They'll really touch it up, and so you have extra time in the 5-on-3, which is about to take place. Matt Shigos makes the second penalty call in a row against Ferris, a hooking call.
And it happens in the neutral zone. It was a good stand-up to deflect the rush, and there in the background, you can see the penalty as Chuck takes his man down again. Ferris State aggressive at their own line. Good gap control. They knew they had support coming back. They broke up the rush, took a penalty in the process, and I'm yelling, get it deep, get it deep. You've got the 5-on-4. You want the face-off in the offensive zone 5-on-3. Instead, they couldn't get it in. Face-off was outside the blue lane. They lose some time.
So a 5-on-3 for Northern. They get it deep, and they'll look to set it up. Serrano now out at the right point. Again, keep an eye on him. Back out high goes Miller. Passes on a shot. Side of the net. It's underneath O'Keefe. Oh, what a save as he stops it in the crease. Northern was home. Butcher was there. O'Keefe slams the door.
Now you can give Evan Case the game puck right now. What a play he made in front. Watch the rotation. 2 and white. Case. Puck goes to the side. Look at the way he ties up the stick, and he does it legally, Matt. Gets over the stick, moves the body out, doesn't interfere, doesn't hold, uses his force, takes an extra step, does the dirty things you need to do to prevent goals. I don't mean dirty as in bad play. I mean the hard, gritty, dirty work you need to be a good penalty killer. Great play.
He went all the way from the high slot down to the one post. Serrano will bring it along, brings it inside the zone. Now knocked away. Looking to get it out. Lewicki can't do it for Ferris, and so Northern still with plenty of time. 5 seconds left in the 5-on-3, and then it's going to be a minute 9 in the 5-on-4. So out of the box, it's now 5-on-4. Shot stopped. O'Keefe out high. Miller trying to set it up for Serrano. Miller now works it into the corner. Puck ends up in behind the net. Evan Keese there again. So Northern going to spread it out a little bit. Oliver sends it over to the far side. Siddle with Serrano with it. Now Miller out high. His shot blocked away. Taken away, and Ferris will clear down the length of the ice.
Northern went 3 high in an umbrella. Ferris quickly changed up into a diamond. 1 man up high to watch 3. When the puck came to the middle, they were there to block a shot.
Puck played down the length of the ice. O'Keefe will steer it there. We go under a half a minute remaining in the Northern power play, and it's really been a problem. Talked about the numbers, just 14% this year. Shot goes wide of the mark. Now they look to set it up again. This one's going to be denied. Taken away and cleared by the Bulldogs.
You know, it's funny, when they started to enforce the rules a little bit more, and there were more penalties called, coaches obviously complained because they had to kill more penalties. I don't know why they're so upset. Nobody can score on the power play anyway. There's no room on the ice. Everybody's in shot lanes. Everybody blocks shots because their equipment is so good. Now the power play is really becoming an ineffective weapon for a lot of teams in the NCAA.
And a huge lift for Ferris. They kill off a 5-on-3, and we stay scoreless with 2.5 remaining in this opening period.
I'll give you another example. Notre Dame hasn't scored a power play goal since the first weekend of December. They're an elite team in the NCAA.
Miller's shot, and that's cleared away. Spady took one off the glove, and we'll get a whistle and a stoppage. Well, the key so far has been the Ferris State penalty kill. Northern had a 5-on-3 for a good minute and a half. Killed off, and we stay scoreless.
You know, as this game continues to move on, I think the team that can generate some offense coming out of their own end in terms of a good first pass and then a good pass into the neutral zone with speed should be able to get chances on goal. This to me is a game that's going to be one possibly on the rush with a good opportunity. I know it's early, but you got to start thinking about getting that going.
Menke tried to get it in front in a game very similar to last night here in Big Rapids as Stewart makes the save. Bit of a quick whistle, and I say that simply because neither team was able to get a goal in the opening period of last night's game.
Stewart is a big man. He's 6'4", Matt. He covers a lot of net, and he doesn't have to panic off a challenge. Whoops. Quick whistle. He's able to cover it up anyway. That wasn't going in. He's 6'4". You know what? Here's a mental thing, too. When you're that big playing in a rink this small, you feel huge. And he is playing like he is as big as the net is.
With the low ceiling, it's almost as if his helmet's going to touch the bottom of the roof. I mean, he does look big between the pipes.
It gives you that big feeling, too. And you notice he doesn't over-challenge. He's not out too far. Lets the game come to him, and he doesn't get himself in a position where he can get backdoored.
Played away, and the puck is sent all the way down the length of the ice. Could you imagine putting him next to Jeff Lurg of Michigan State? Out of the zone it goes, and we're down to a little more than a minute and a half remaining in this opening period.
Is it me, or is Michigan State cornered the market on small goalies? I mean, Jeff Lurg took over for Dominic McCarry, and he wasn't exactly big.
Menke's shot blocked away back in the day. Ron Scott wasn't exactly big either in East Lansing. Jorgensen with a shot. That hits somebody out high. Smith now for Northern Michigan will get it out and back to center.
Normie Foster's another one.
Yep. Played all the way back in behind the net. They look to spring Connolly, and Connolly flips it over the glass and out of play on a deflection. Well, goaltenders, talked a lot about Brian Stewart, but what about Mitch O'Keefe? I mean, great numbers. You look at the saves percentage, and he is currently third. We saw Bachman a couple of weeks ago in Madison. There's some good ones. How about Teslick? You know, when he's healthy up at Tech, he is one of the best.
You know, he's playing back-to-back games, and it's something new for him in terms of the success he's having in doing it. In the offseason, he really bought into the off-ice conditioning program here at Ferris. Lost some weight and is now able to be in condition to play effectively 2 nights in a row.
Out of the zone it goes, and Welch will chase it down for Ferris. Played right back in. Miller now, and we get a whistle and an icing call.
Stewart got into a little trouble down there in his own end for a quick second as he came out, wasn't sure, hesitated just a little, poked the puck in there. Has to make a crazy save.
It goes through, nobody's there for Ferris.
That's right, Connolly behind the goal line, so I'm not quite sure it was a shot on goal, but the goaltending has been good tonight. And you remember a couple of weeks ago when we saw CC, and they talked about how this summer they brought a nutritionist in to help them with their eating habits and to help their conditioning. That seems to be a theme in the last few years, players buying into that.
TJ Miller's shot on O'Keefe, saw it the whole way.
And those numbers, Matt, that you brought up about O'Keefe, direct result of him being in better shape, taking better care of himself. The guys, as they get later in their college career, realize they're running out of time to start impressing people for a pro contract, and all of a sudden things start to change for them.
It's funny how that happens when you got the real world slapping you right in the face. Right down the road, right?
Yeah, absolutely. All of a sudden, you know, a little less Doritos and a couple more grapes, and you're in business, sort of like you.
Oh, come on. Not the Cool Ranch kind, though, right?
Well,
out of the zone, right back to center, and this one's flipped along by Butcher, and he'll send in behind the net for Welch. Maybe one final rush for Ferris here with 25 seconds remaining in a scoreless first. Miller, TJ Miller has it now for Northern. Right back to center ice for Matt Butcher. This one's taken away by Adam Welch. 15 seconds to go. Now Evan Case has it, and he'll skate it out of the zone. Flipped along. Fillinger's going to have to hurry. 5 seconds. Sent one towards Stewart, and Stewart will flip one in behind the net, and that's it. End of the opening period. Zarb now having words with Canisto of Northern Michigan. But good goaltending in the opening period, no doubt about it. No score at the end of one. But don't forget, there's plenty of action to come from Big Rapids. But first, we send it to the field house where Adam Zucker is standing by in the game room. Adam?
Imagine a university with everything you've been looking for. Small classes taught by professors with real-world experience. Interactive learning and a practical approach to education. Students with unique backgrounds sharing common interests. At the forefront of Michigan's changing economy for over 120 years, Ferris State University is a gateway to endless opportunities. Ferris State University. Imagine more.
Well, they got the band fired up tonight. Down to our left inside the dog pound. No score at the end of one. Let's take a look at the highlights of that opening period, Dave.
It was busy by both ends. At the Northern Michigan end, Stewart was real good. Kept his rebounds away, was very acrobatic at times, challenge was good, and he took away some chances. Down the other side, I thought the back check of Ferris State was terrific. Their play around the net in support of the good play of their goaltender showed why they're a top-notch defensive club in the NCAA.
Stats through the first, and of course Northern Michigan, who has struggled as of late on their power play, 0 for 2. That was maybe the biggest turning point of that opening period, and the fact that Ferris found themselves down in a 5-on-3.
I think so too. They had a great opportunity, 5-on-3. They couldn't convert. Northern Michigan tried to get shots from the point. Nothing got through. Ferris State, I thought, was really good in lanes, and their rotation on that 5-on-3 was great.
Well, Bob Daniels, the head coach of Ferris State, just rolling out the red carpet for CSTV. We had a great meeting with him and people at Northern Michigan as well, really helping us to prepare for this game. But this is our first trip with CSTV, Dave, to Big Rapids. They have just been so accommodating to not only you and me, but our entire staff, and can't wait to get back here.
There's one word to describe it, Matt, and that is class. Ferris State has gone out of their way to make this easier than it should be, and we thank them and we commend them for everything that they've done this weekend.
Now, I don't know, you saw the dog pound there as we get underway here in the second period. I don't know if Northern would necessarily say that about the dog pound. Huge hit in behind the net, and they score!
Before anything happens in terms of the goal, I didn't see a point to the net by Matt Shigos. Here's the hit, and that is one heck of a check, and that helped create room in front. And here's the goal. As the puck came out to the front, it essentially was almost a power play when it happened, but there was interference with the goaltender as well. And I think Shigos is going to go and take a look at this one on tape before any call gets made. The hit, if you want to say it came a second after the puck left the stick of the player, you've got a case there, but I don't think it was an illegal hit at all. And now it's a matter of how this all shakes out with interference on the goaltender, if that's a possibility.
Well, okay, let's take everybody through it one more time. The goal in front, Lewicki gets credited for the goal, but now, before the goal was scored, the big hit took place. T.J. Miller, the Devils' draft pick, turned his head behind the net, and then by the time he had his head righted, he was drilled.
You know what? I don't think that's a penalty. I got to be honest. I think that was okay. He had just moved the puck, and whether or not the Ferris State player coming in, the attacking player, saw that the puck had moved, is open to debate. Now, in terms of the play in front of the net, and Matt Shigos is now explaining his viewpoint to the captains of each team in the referee's crease. The original shot was stopped, and a really good save by Stewart. The rebound was banged home. When you watch the replay back, you see nothing to indicate that the goal shouldn't count. It's not up on the board yet, and we will wait and see how this gets determined. But no move to video has happened by Matt Shigos, and there is, I believe it's no goal.
Matt Shigos, the puck is in the circle to the left of Brian Stewart.
And what I'm going to say, Matt, is that they blew the whistle before that happened. That's what I'm going to guess, is that Stewart had the puck on his pad, blew the whistle, puck got popped in, no goal.
So we remain scoreless. I was all about to say that the script very similar to last night when Ferris jumped on him in the opening minute of that second period.
What a goal that was. Right off the faceoff, back to the D, sprung the forward, and they were off to the races.
Now Northern got it right to the net. Butcher got creamed out in front. He looked like Bobby Orr from the early 70s flying through the crease. Spady now, and he'll send one right back in. Northern has to clear the zone. They're back onside. Now Matt Butcher plays it along. Hanson down low for the Wildcats, left wing side. Butcher is there. And you got to wonder, Northern, well, obviously they're going to try to rally around their co-captain T.J. Miller, who got his bell rung on that the last sequence prior to the face-off.
Things like that happen. The player who gets hit tends to come back and be better. You know, as long as he's not injured, they tend to come back in and play pretty strong. Sometimes you get your bell rung and all of a sudden you feel better. Butcher going to the net a second ago, Matt, and he went flying through the air. I like the fact that he just kept his feet moving and he went towards the net.
Early 70s, St. Louis, Boston.
Absolutely. Tried to draw a little bit on the penalty. O'Keefe certainly helped it out. You know, if you're not cheating, you're not trying, right?
Play to the side of the net, and now it's knocked away, and out of the zone it goes. Northern will try to force it back to center ice. Smith, nice job there with Alver, but he loses it, and Menke will set it up for Cody Chupp. Chupp drops it. Riley shot on it, stopped by Brian Stewart. Out of the corner it goes. It's Cody Chupp doing the dirty work in the far boards, and now Smith now for Northern will bring it back in over the line. This one flipped over the glass and out of play. Kind of a strange setup. Because just to the left side of the Northern bench, there's no glass.
Well, let's take it a step further. Whenever you go into an opposing team's rink as a head coach, the one thing you do is a report on what's considered the defects of the rink. This one's got a couple.
That's what we're talking about.
That's one of them. There's no glass between what would be considered the tops of the circles of the half boards all the way to the blue line in front of the Northern bench. So you can't use that as a defensive team, that area, to chip pucks off the glass and out of the zone like you could normally. The other thing is, this is not seamless glass. There have been some crazy bounces in terms of players throwing pucks off the glass as well.
Miller is back out for Northern. That's a great sign. T.J. Miller, the defenseman. Keep an eye on him, and this one's covered up, and Brian Stewart holds on. Well, T.J. Miller just moments ago getting his bell rung in behind the net. Good to see him back out there.
A New Jersey draft choice, as you alluded to earlier in the game. He was raised in Southern California, went up to the British Columbia Junior Hockey League to play. He was playing for Bruno Camper up there, and Camper called up Walt Kyle and said, you know what, I think I've got somebody who you should see. The Devils are very interested. Come take a look.
Wojtek with a shot, and that's blasted wide. Now out of the corner it goes. Redmond back out high, gets the feed. Puck sent towards the net. Stewart never saw that through about a triple screen. Now Lewandowski has it. Big hit that time, Miller. Miller's going to get a penalty. Miller, who is involved on the other end, he's going to get a penalty here, and it's going to go against the Wildcat defenseman. So Miller is going to have a seat. Matt Shee goes to the penalty box, and Ferris will go to the power play.
Oh, Miller trying to reestablish himself as he throws the big hit. And the penalty box door open as the hit happens in the corner. It happened off a little play coming out of the curl here. Puck went up the wall, and Miller nailed his guy. So Ferris State gets the opportunity. You know, a second ago, Matt, you saw a shot by Redmond that just went short side wide. And they know that they have some lively boards here, very similar to at Michigan. And their defensemen, if they don't have a play to the net, are told shoot wide, short side. Let's see if we can play a deflection or a carom coming off those backboards.
In behind the net, Northern will look to set it up. They're killing off the Ferris power play. Redmond and Wojtek, the 2-point men right now for the Bulldogs. And up front, it's played along this time, but flipped over the glass by Justin Menke. And we'll get a whistle and a stoppage of play. That penalty coming at 3:14, a boarding penalty to Miller.
Ferris State really wants to get their penalty, or rather their power play, untracked. It has struggled a bit as of late. And they got a couple of good freshmen, Wojtek and Redmond, back at the point. Redmond had a 3-point night last Friday against Alaska, and he really ran a very good power play last weekend.
Number 44. Well, Northern Michigan with 6 shorthanded goals, tied for second in the CCHA. That is excellent numbers. Puck played over the line. Wojtek has it, got it towards the front. Now Riley will chase it down for the Ferris State Bulldogs. Into the corner it goes. Riley gets it right back. Now Riley looking around. Gets it down low. They try to work it in front. Menke there, cut off. Riley has it again. Riley, wrist shot blocked away. Another chance. They score!
Menke makes this play. He made the first play in terms of getting himself loose to get that puck back to the point and bring it to what you see right now. And then the shot gets blocked, but they keep battling. He keeps going, sneaks it through traffic. Look at the play set up by Chup in front. Chup kept battling, kept tying up the defenseman, and the puck had some time to find Twine. Blair Riley with a good play to the front of the net, and you get numbers in the slot. Good things happen.
He's a business major out in Nanaimo, British Columbia. And he said he wants to be prime minister in Canada someday so he can lower taxes. This one, score! Northern with the answer.
Well, Northern Michigan gets their energy line on the ice. Hartung, Marple, and Maltese. And they give them a goal. Usually after a goal, you want to get a good energy shift. And they wind up creating a 2-on-1. And they go short side. And there's the shot. It's up high. O'Keefe pulled himself back. It was a 2-on-1 scenario. So O'Keefe decided to stay tight, not to risk a cross-ice pass and get backdoored. Maltese found him leaning, went short side and beat him.
So the puck is played all the way back in Evan Case. This one's covered up. Wouldn't have mattered. Puck's going to come outside the zone. So we go what? We go about 24 minutes without a goal, and now we've had 2 in under a minute. Riley for Ferris, Maltese for Northern Michigan. What an answer for Walt Kyle's club here tonight.
And Matt, those shifts after goals are so big. They are such momentum swing shifts. You score a goal, obviously you want to keep the heat on the team you just scored on. You're the team that just got scored on. You want to level the playing field and get yourself back with a positive shift. And again, their fourth line, their energy line, gets them a bonus.
Auburn trying to get into the front, knocked away that time. Adam Welch will take it away. A little bit of heat here as Ferris will bring it to the line. Dollinger can't. Alver, good push down low. Fox with it on the left wing side. Smith in the middle of it for Northern. All of a sudden, Northern Michigan, all sorts of energy. Spady lost it. Turned the other way. Here's a chance for Ferris. Embach trying to go to the net. Oh, and it run right over the stick of Aaron Lewicki. He had a wide open 4x6. Underneath a couple of players. Fox slow to get up. Play to the line. Adam Welch. Welch sent it wide. And now played back to the line and out of the zone, right back to center ice. Things really starting to heat up just as soon as Northern Michigan pumped it up a little bit on their forecheck. Ferris counters and gets a grade A scoring chance. Gustafson now. Miller tying him up. Penalty coming up here. Hooking's the call. We'll check it when we come back. 2 goals, 12 seconds apart. It's a 1-1 thriller in Big Rapids.
Time Life presents the complete 10-CD Songs Forever collection. And now you can preview the entire Songs Forever collection in your home for 30 days for just $9.95. But wait, be one of the first 500 callers to order with your credit card and get free shipping and handling.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord.
Plus, order in the next 10 minutes with your credit card and get this free bonus CD, Power Ballads of the Christian Faith.
You know, Songs Forever is simply the best Christian music collection ever.
And remember, if this isn't the best collection you've ever heard, simply send it back and owe nothing more.
Call 1-800-791-8998 to preview Songs Forever for $9.95 plus free shipping with credit card order.
There's a lot of talk out on the street about his mother. His mother. Your mother. Their mother. But in the end, is anyone really even thinking about them?
1-1 the score in the second. Northern about to go to the power play.
The penalty happens down low. Originally, I thought it was going to be holding the stick on the player in green, and instead it was hooking on white. Here comes Lewicki, and I'll tell you what, he didn't miss by much. 12 green. Spady, I think, also had an influence. Maybe there were some footsteps heard in front of the net and a chance rushed.
Stick on the ice, no doubt about it. You got to bury those. Cody Chupp that time took a little bit of a bump, and now they're going to chase the Northern player out of there. That's Siddle. He's got some big size. Siddle. Now the puck is played all the way back in behind the net. So it's a power play unit out there right now for Walt Kyle's Northern Michigan Wildcats. And a 1-1 tie tonight. NCAA hockey on CSTV from Big Rapids, Michigan. Puck is played in behind the net. Siddle will set it up on the left wing corner. Goes in behind the net. They look to feed the point. Pretty good play there by Spady to keep it in. Now Sirota tries to get it to the line. Hansen's shot goes wide. Played in behind the net. Siddle gets it to Sirota. Back to Gustafson. They look to spread it around. Spady is there, but it's taken away. And Ferris will try to get it out. Mbach right back to center, and now Sirota will chase it down. Plenty of time left in this power play. 1:09 remaining for the Wildcats. Wildcats stepped out in that green and gold. Gustafson plays it right back in behind the net. Jorgensen will give it off to Matt Case. Hard off the glass and sent down the length of the ice.
Not much happening right now for Northern Michigan. They haven't been able to get pucks through lanes for clean chances. Their best chance came off a broken clearing attempt by Ferris State, and State's been good at trying to force the issue.
Into the zone and now played in behind the net. That's where Evan Case will set it up. And sent all the way back down the length of the ice.
I understand with you being a Michigan State alumni, if I say State to refer to Ferris, does that offend you?
Not at all.
Just making sure.
Not the way they've treated us with this trip here coming here. I mean, they've been unbelievable. I might change.
I saw you bought a T-shirt. Now I'm going to get that out in public.
I did. Might get me in trouble with Spartan Nation as the puck is played in behind the net. Can't pass up a Ferris State hockey T-shirt.
Never.
Cosgrove.
First kid on your block to have one.
And I bought it. Into the zone. Sauer tries to get it right towards the net. Puck played to the corner. Now back to the left line, and Ferris is back to full strength. Miller will play it at the left point. Sends down low. Matt Butcher in behind the net, tied up by Adam Welch, and it's taken away. And here they come. Fillinger. Now Fillinger in over the line, drops it. Zarb let it go that time for Casey Haynes. Couldn't handle it, and it's flipped right back to the Ferris blue line. Sauer takes it into the corner, right to the front, and that deflected off Redmond's stick.
That was close. You almost had another scenario like you had at Michigan last night with a goal deflected by a defenseman.
Haynes now sends right towards the net. Haynes gets it right back. T.J. Miller all over him. The big defenseman looks fine after that big hit in the opening minute or so of the second period.
Matt, the last rush was a good one by Ferris State as they came in, but unfortunately they came in straight. And everybody was parallel to the goal line at about the same point, so there was no depth in the attack. When you don't have depth, you can't make a drop pass. Makes it very tough to execute as you get closer to the net. You run out of room.
Mitch O'Keefe will steer it in behind the net. Redmond got bumped there. Now Redmond trying to set it up, and he will. Redmond for Ferris. He'll skate it out of the zone. Here he comes right back to center ice. Lewandowski over the line, looks to set it up. The trailer that time, couldn't get it to him. Now it's moved along, and now Smith for Northern Michigan will skate it out. Excellent pace here tonight in Big Rapids and a 1-1 tie. Now Smith trying to go wide. In behind the net, back out towards the line. Cosgrove bumped off the puck, and the caroms all the way back inside the Wildcats blue line.
Connolly took that one off his left foot, and he limped back to the bench. We'll keep an eye on him.
Meanwhile, we get a whistle and an icing call. A couple of goals in the second. 1-1 the score. NCAA hockey on CSTV.
We love college hockey. Hockey on CSTV television. Something romantic, yeah, about the camaraderie, all the different arenas, the rinks, and guys with their sticks. I got a stick. We love men in uniform and dark emery. Oh, I want some high sticking, hat tricking, puck flicking, body checking, board wrecking, college hockey on CSTV.
Watch Air Force at Army Friday at 8, only on CSTV. If you owe taxes or are facing an IRS lien or wage garnishment, here's important news for you. Now there's a new program that will immediately end wage garnishments, remove IRS liens, and eliminate IRS tax penalties. Call right now to enroll in the Rapid Relief Program from Advantage Tax Resolution and have your tax liabilities reduced by up to 90%.
Hi, I'm Corbin Burnson for Advantage Tax Resolution. You know, tax problems can strike at any time, even if you've done nothing wrong. Advantage Tax Resolution was founded to help people just like you resolve your tax problems permanently.
I'd never been able to take on the IRS myself, but I got help. I had my tax lien removed and my debt reduced 90%.
Call right now to enroll in the new Rapid Relief Tax Resolution Program.
It's the last call you'll need to make about your taxes.
Call to find out more information about Advantage Tax Resolution's Rapid Relief Program. Call 800-926-9052.
How did the pig tracks get on the ceiling?
Spider Pig does whatever a spider pig does.
Now, it's the tastiest,
They're giving out free donuts.
craziest,
Okay.
greatest Simpsons family adventure of all time.
You can take Spider Pig with you.
He's not Spider Pig anymore. He's Harry Plopper.
The Simpsons movie.
The men's basketball season is pumping. You don't want to miss a single beat. Can John Calipari continue to lead his Tigers to another #1 seed? Or will Tulsa stop them in their tracks? Watch Memphis versus Tulsa, Wednesday at 8. NCAA men's basketball. Possession, CSTV.
1-1 the score, Northern and Ferris. Brendan Connolly, the bench probably a little safer than the ice these days.
He took a shot off of his left knee. I misidentified it as being off his ankle. Went to the bench a little slow, and it was a little gingerly as he put pressure on that left leg.
It's okay, I never confused you with being a doctor, as this one rolls right to Brian Stewart, and we get a whistle and a stoppage of play. Well, Brian Stewart has had some good looks, allowed one so far here tonight.
They were really high on him coming in, and they knew there were going to be some growing pains. Walt Kyle talked about how neither one of his goalies was really prepared last year to carry the mail as the #1 goalie to handle that type of pressure. Now it seems that Stewart, who played well in the playoffs last year, has been able to roll with it.
Serrano and Butcher putting on the heat down low for the Wildcats, and now Serrano chasing him behind that. Gustafson was right in front, the defenseman, just trying to creep down low, but it's taken away, and Ferris will get it right back to center. Flipped along on the backhand by Jim Jorgensen. Behind the net. Spady tying up his man on Ferris. They look to throw it towards the net. Nice step-up play by Spady, and he'll get it out of the zone. Right-handed defenseman. He's played a solid game here tonight in Big Rapids as Case will play it in behind the net. That's Matt Case out of Plymouth, Minnesota.
No relation between the two cases here.
No, not at all. Evan Case from Grosse Pointe, Michigan, and Matt from Minnesota. Czar tries to get it to the line. He does. Gains it, but now it's knocked away and cleared out of the zone. 1-1 the score. Both goals here in the second period. Riley for Ferris, Maltese for Northern. Flipped along. We are closing in on the halfway mark of this second period, and for that matter, the game. Had a great one last night in Ann Arbor between Michigan and Notre Dame, and this one ever so competitive as well.
Speaking of Michigan and Notre Dame, if you don't think Notre Dame was a little demoralized after last night's game, think again. They were getting beat 4-1 first period at the Palace of Auburn Hills tonight.
This one's flipped right back in. So in behind the net, TJ Miller will set it up. Yeah, go figure that score, 4-1 Michigan.
You know what? Notre Dame looked shell-shocked when they came out of Ann Arbor last night. When they were getting on the bus and walking out from the dressing room, even the staff, they looked shell-shocked that they got scored on with 20 seconds to go.
This one's handled by Brian Stewart, and while we have this chance, let's take a look at the Northern Michigan Rapid Fire. Just kind of a way here on CSTV to showcase some of the elite players on each of the squads.
And you take a look at Butcher, the face-off specialist. He's going to be the guy who late in games will take those big draws, especially in his own end. And you know, the one thing Walt Kyle talked about when referring to Butcher, he said being the son of an NHL player, he gets it. He knows how to handle himself. He knows how to prepare. He grew up around the dressing room, and he's a very low-maintenance player and a good example to the rest of the room.
Wojciechowski set one wide, might have been deflected. This one to the front of the net, but unable to finish it off that time, Casey Haynes. Haynes is an interesting story out of Indiana, Pennsylvania. That's about an hour east of Pittsburgh as Butcher will bring it along, and this one blocked away. Oh, what a back check that time. Excellent play defensively by Mike Fillinger. The result, though, the penalty shot score! Northern has taken the lead, 2-1.
Wow, well, I'll tell you what, after the penalty was called, Ferris State fell asleep. Puck went to the net, and it was right out in front. It was a good little centering play, went off the stick of Zarb. Everybody fell asleep, and that was really the problem. Now watch as Northern Michigan just goes to the net. Bang, there it is. Get an open opportunity. Canisto was there. Amazing to me, Matt. It literally, the entire Bulldog team just let up. Haynes, Fillinger, they didn't get back to cover the slot when the D's got aggressive.
Big goal for Canisto, and it's given Northern a 2-1 lead, set towards the net. Let's see if Ferris has the answer similar to what Northern did when they fell behind 1-0, but it is 2 unanswered goals now. Maltese earlier in the period, and moments ago, Canisto.
And it's the first line right out for Ferris State to try to get that one back.
Miller brings it in. Miller 2-on-1. Miller trying to get it to the front, but cut off. In behind the net, taken away. Spady is there again, and he'll send it in behind the Northern Michigan net.
Heck of a play by Gustafson, 7 in green. He and Spady have been very, very good tonight. And Gustafson made a good play to take away that angle towards the front of the net, or take away the passing lane to the front of the net.
This one moved along and not cleared. Fox has it. Wrist shot towards the net. Knocked away, and Ferris will come right back. Lewandowski has it. He's got a teammate wide in Riley. Trips at the blue line. Fans wanted a penalty. Adam Welch trying to move it along for the Bulldogs. As Fox will turn it the other way. Now we get a whistle here, and an offside right at the Ferris blue line.
That was a very good call, because on that line change, it didn't look like Ferris State was offsides, but they changed offsides. When one of their players came over the boards to get onto the ice on the line change, he was inside the blue line when he jumped over the boards. It automatically made him offsides. Coaches will always say to players, make sure you change on sides. Know who you're taking. Make sure you're outside the blue line. Ferris State failed to do it.
Into the zone it goes. Alver trying to get around the defenseman Evan Case. Alver set towards the net, and that's over the top. And now Cody Chupp will bring it out. Riley now for Ferris. Got knocked off the puck by Fox. Bulldogs will scoop it up, though. Dumped down the play. Oh, boy, I'll tell you what. T.J. Miller, since that hit, has been a force. Alver, bodies flying all over the place. And a shot by Miller. Stopped that time by O'Keefe. Now Miller tries to take it right to the net. He's going after everybody.
And more hits in this shift than Thriller as an album.
He might actually be hurt a little bit, maybe favoring that shoulder as he heads to the bench. This one in behind the net. Now the puck to the side, and it's cleared away. And out of the zone it goes. Siddle trying to get it out. Failed clearing attempt there. And so now Northern will look up ice, and they'll flip it all the way down the length. Mitch O'Keefe had to make the save, and so the icing's waved off. Wojteka into the zone. Cosgrove has it. Out of the zone it goes. Right back through center. Into the zone. Now a chance here for Northern to the front. Oh, and Saar can't finish it off. Now Saar has it one more time. Cosgrove dumps it in behind the net. Northern gets something going here. Marple goes to the front. Redmond tying up with Siddle.
Wow, this is like watching the Blues and the Blackhawks from the 80s. This is a black and blue game. There are a ton of hits on that last shift, at least 7 or 8.
Where's Al Secord and Kelly Chase? Marple will dump one in behind the net. Wojteka. Al Secord's actually a pilot, a commercial pilot.
He had a very good line about him. I just don't know if it plays on TV.
No, I think we ought to leave that one for off air, Davis. Butcher will play it in behind the net. And out of the zone. Kind of an old champ. Back up in the old Minnesota North Star days when he'd come to town. Butcher has it again. Hansen set over the top of the net. We'll leave it at that. Now Hansen down low for Northern. Cavisto in behind the net. Matt Butcher. Butcher for Northern to the line. Gustafson, he fanned on it. Canisto is right there again before it's cleared out of there. Certainly the tempo and the pace over the last 5 minutes or so since that goal favoring Northern Michigan. Canisto all over the ice. He'll play it in behind the net. He's He's got one of the 2 goals along with Maltese. Now Canisto watched by Redmond. Canisto comes away with it in a shot. Steered aside by O'Keefe. Gustafson.
It was a good save by O'Keefe because it was a bad angle shot that he managed to get to the opposite side of the ice. A lot of times, those bad angle shots wind up in the slot. O'Keefe with a good piece of strategic goaltending to prevent a rebound.
Into the zone, Maltese took a shot out high. No penalty called. Goes in behind the net. Hartung is there for Northern. Gustafson at the point.
This is the line that scored their goal, Matt, for Northern Michigan.
And behind the net, Marple and Maltese, and it's cleared out of there past T.J. Miller. And Gustafson comes back to help out.
I'll tell you what, coaches love when there's a lot of open play like this. It goes back and forth because you really are in command of your bench. Everybody's got to be awake. Line changes have to be crisp.
Finally, a puck out of play, but it's been all Northern as of late. Ray Canisto out of Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, has given the Wildcats a 2-1 lead.
Think you know wrestling? Step onto the mat with CSTV.
Unbelievable! Now he's in good position. Look at this.
NCAA wrestling on CSTV. This is real. Watch the NWCA Cliff Keen National Duels presented by CSG Sports Coatings tonight at 8.
Thanks, Adam, and don't forget Dave and I will also spend some time with Bulldogs captain Adam Welch, and we'll have a look at those stats and highlights from the second period here tonight in Big Rapids. The Dog Pound getting it going. You'd be a good member of that Dog Pound. Go down there and paint your face.
Get ugly?
Well, I don't know if you have to get.
Scream obscenities at the goalies? Scream at the referees? No, not the CHA.
No, I was going to say you're not going to scream at the CCHA officials. No way.
Not my guys.
Not anymore. Not after that sweatsuit. Miller will bring it right back to center. Into the zone he goes. Miller, the top center on this Bulldogs team. Puck to the line. Here's Matt Case. Wrist shot got through. Stopped that time, Stewart.
What a shot.
And another shot, Stewart. This time from the left point, had to be sharp. And wanted another penalty. T.J. Miller got drilled again. In behind the net. Now it's played away by Fox. Miller is covered in snow. He has been all over the ice. And now he's going to play the puck inside of his own zone before it's flipped over the glass and out of play. Well, we had mentioned just moments ago Adam Welch, the captain, Hastings, Minnesota.
Yeah, he was named the captain as a sophomore, and he's really relied on a couple of key older players in his years here to rely on. Nick Shibley and Greg Rallo have been older players that have been on the team while he was younger than him, or younger than them, and as a captain, and he has really established himself as a great leader and had great people ahead of him to help him.
This one sent right to the glove of Brian Stewart, and he holds.
The thing about, well, he grew up in Minnesota. His family lived outside of that area for a while, but they moved back to Hastings. His cousin Dan played for the Gophers, and like every kid in Minnesota, he wanted to be a Gopher. He is here at Ferris State, very happy about it.
Up with Doug Woog.
Yes, he did. Remember
one of our friends?
Absolutely. A couple of years at the Doug Woog hockey schools.
Of course, we'll see Doug Woog in Madison next Saturday night. We'll have Minnesota and Wisconsin right here on CSTV.
Always good to see the coach.
Oh, how about our schedule? I mean, we're in a great run. We got a great one here tonight. Had a great one last night in Michigan. We go to Kohl Center, the Grateful Red, Air Force Army Friday night. And you know, Brian Riley's going to be mic'd for that game, the head coach of Army. It's going to be a live miking. It's going to be so much fun to watch that game from the academy. Played away in behind the net.
So many coaches ask what gets said on the bench on teams at higher levels in the NCAA and the pros. Same thing a lot of times is what you hear in youth hockey benches. It's good changes, call your men, get pucks deep, look for options. It's very similar dialogue.
Adam Welch in behind the net. Took a big hit that time. Siddle left his feet, no penalty called. And now Matt Butcher taking a shot from Menke. Riley in the middle of it as well. Siddle tries to get it down low for Northern Michigan, who all of a sudden here in the second period has come up with a couple of goals. And after trailing 1-0, has quietly taken a 2-1 lead here. With Dave Starman on Matt McConnell, it's 9:30 in the East, 6:30 out west. In case you're watching us tonight in Los Angeles, I would imagine a few people in Placentia, California, are watching T.J. Miller tonight.
And apparently, no matter what time it is in Atlanta, nobody's doing anything. As the city's been blanketed in snow.
Can't wait to get home to see that. This one sent to the net. My wife told me there was a run on the grocery stores this morning. 2 inches of snow. Welch. And he'll get it outside the zone. A lot of snow here in Big Rapids. We mentioned the temperature. It's -2 as of game time. I bet it's dipped even lower than that. Dollinger will get it along. Here it comes. Dollinger got the drop. And Fillinger can't finish it off.
A couple of really good scoring attempts, I think, by Ferris State on the last couple of shifts. They got a point shot through, low, far side, got a rebound. That shot, low, far side, got a rebound.
Dollinger has it. Rister getting a piece Stewart. Out of the zone it goes right back to center ice. Closing minutes of this second period, 1:20 remaining in a 2-1 Northern Michigan lead.
I've been very impressed with the two goalies in terms of how well they played shots down low and their ability to control rebounds.
Here's Smith's shot over the glove and high over the top of Mitch O'Keefe. And the Bulldogs come right back. They quickly move it to center. Casey Haynes in over the line. His shot stopped by Stewart. And a loose rebound as well. Huckabee played into the corner. Down low trying to set it up. Chris Zarb. Zarb in. Under a minute to go here in this second period tonight from Big Rapids. Zarb has it. Flyers draft pick. Looking to tie it up. Penalty coming up here against Northern Michigan. Walt Kyle will probably lose his mind on this one. Dorich is going to get the gate, and Ferris in the final minutes going to go to the power play.
And that was good hard work by Zarb that caused Dorich to take that penalty. It was an obvious one, and Shigos was right there to make that call. So the key part of this is not only will Ferris State, as you take a look at the board work down low, and Zarb with great puck protection. Puck protection tends to draw penalties, and that one was pretty obvious. They'll get a chance here. They'll also start in the power play should they not score.
So the puck is played in the zone. Matt Case will give it off to Miller. Miller working it on right wing. What a chance here for Ferris. Can they get it tied? 33 seconds to go. This one's going to be knocked away and cleared out of the zone down the lane.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm watching the front of the net, and I think Stewart, for a big man, does a great job of getting low, looking around screens and shuffling side to side. Lewicki did everything he could to try to take his eyes away, and Stewart was better to get down low and find pucks.
Connolly to the net. It's loose in front, jamming away, and it's Stewart stopped it, and it's cleared with 10 seconds remaining in the period. This one moved along back to center, so there's going to be power play time that'll carry over as Lewicki gets cut off at the pass. And that's the end of the second period. So chances, but again, Ferris will have a little bit of time as we head to the third. 2-1 Northern through 2. Plenty of action to come tonight from Big Rapids. But first, we're going to send to the field house in New York where Adam Zucker is standing by. He's in the game room. Adam. Battle for it to the corner, to the line. DeSantis, his shot, score! The Buckeyes have tied it at 2.
I don't like the ties. I'd like to see you have a winner.
I don't really campaign for this, hey, let's break the tie, because there's no real way to settle a tie in hockey.
I would like to see better ways to resolve ties in the overtime.
I'm not a big proponent of the shootout. Maybe I'll lean more towards 4-on-4.
I am a big traditionalist. Tie game can be extremely exciting.
We're coming to the time where people don't want to see ties, even if it could be an exciting tie.
I've never seen anybody complain about an overtime game in college hockey.
When we're really struggling, you say to yourself, boy, if I could get out of here with a tie, I'd be pretty happy.
I don't know what the right answer is, but we have to separate teams at the end of the game.
Ask 20 collegiate coaches their thoughts on ties, and you'll get 20 opinions with few agreeing on anything.
I'd like to go the route of the National Hockey League. I would like to go to a 4-on-4 overtime.
I'm not crazy about the 4-on-4, quite honestly, because I think it limits how much guys play.
The idea of going 4-on-4 and see if that gets us a few more goals in overtime and help out. I'm not sure if all the coaches want to see a shootout, but I think the fans would love to see a shootout because that gets everybody standing up on their toes and ready to go.
I hate the shootout. I don't like to extend overtime much past 5 minutes because now your ice conditions are really, really deplorable at that point. So, hey, if it's a tie, it's a tie.
And that will do it. The buzzer sounds, and there will be 5 minutes or less of sudden death overtime.
Despite the obstacles, there is a plan to change overtime rules in college hockey, possibly by next season. The topic that has infused the largest debate is how many players should be on the ice in the extra session.
The ideal scenario would be a 5 minutes of 4-on-4, 5 minutes of 3-on-3, and then shootout if necessary. But if we need to go 5 minutes of 4-on-4 and then right to the shootout, just for consistency with the NHL and other leagues, then I'm fine with that too.
Open it up. If you don't get the extra point, go to a shootout and decide who gets the extra point that night.
The thing that scares me, because we all have our own personal agendas, is that we're a program that's rebuilding, so we're not going to have a load of talent like maybe a BC or a BU has on their bench. So as the numbers start to go down and the ice surface frees up for the talented players, we're going to be at a disadvantage.
It's a skills competition. Once you step outside of that to break the tie and go into 4-on-4 or 3-on-3, or it's gimmicky, and it's something to produce excitement for the fans. We don't have that problem in college hockey. It's already exciting enough.
Truthfully, the fans come to the games and they like to see a winner. No one likes to see anybody lose, but there's a winner and a loser. We emphasize that in practice, and we prepare for that, and we have to deal with those consequences as coaches. So I think it's best if we play to a win.
I tackled new challenges and got a new view on life.
I got involved and met new friends.
I went to Northern Michigan University for me.
Thousands of students each year enter into one of nearly 200 academic programs offered at Northern Michigan University.
And each full-time student is issued a notebook computer.
The rest of your life begins now.
Northern.
Naturally.
The men's basketball season is pumping. You don't want to miss a single beat. Can John Calipari continue to lead his Tigers to another #1 seed? Or will Tulsa stop them in their tracks? Watch Memphis versus Tulsa, Wednesday at 8. NCAA men's basketball. Possession, CSTV.
Welcome back to Big Rapids, everybody. Northern Michigan with a 2-1 lead over the Ferris State Bulldogs. Let's take a look back at all the highlights from that second period, Dave.
A couple of bone-crunching hits. That one was the one that got it started early on. Ferris State connected to make it 1-0 on the power play, but Northern Michigan came back. Next shift, bam! And it's all of a sudden 1-1. And they really grinded and worked hard for their second goal. It was a little pass in front of the net, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Northern Michigan took a 2-1 lead. It seemed like Ferris State kind of fell asleep on them.
Let's take a look at the shots. 1 for 8 in the dangerous scoring area for Northern Michigan, including that goal. They did have their other goal come from outside that trapezoid, and Ferris State scoring in the dangerous scoring area as well. A total of 28 shots so far for the Bulldogs. Well, you know what? We like to talk about alumni. And one of the alumni, a Stanley Cup champion here in Ferris. Here at Ferris, I should say. Chris Kunitz of the Anaheim Ducks. And, well, he was back here this summer hoisting some hardware, Dave.
Yeah, he brought the cup to the rink, and he brought it here so the kids can see it. But most importantly, he brought it to a couple of the local children's hospitals so that they can get some time with the Stanley Cup and make their day just a little bit better. A class act before he took it here, and then he brought it home to Saskatchewan on the same day.
Chris Kunitz, quite the player when you go back to 02 and 03 and back in that time when Ferris State, remember 02-03, they won 31 times, 22 of those wins in the CCHA, on their way to the first title. Also made their first NCAA champion or tournament appearance. And Bobby Daniels, CCHA Coach of the Year that year as well. So we'll see what happens here in the third as the Bulldogs trail by 1. Gustafson intercepting, and the puck will be played away by Witek. And he'll look to bring it along as TJ Miller will break that one up into the neutral zone. Now Waiteka has it. Right back in over the line. Waiteka left side towards the net, and that deflected by Chuck.
Chuck probably got it a second before he wanted to. He was not in the spot that he wanted to be in to tip that thing forward. He got a good tip, but he wasn't in a scoring area to do it.
Don't forget power play time remaining 21 seconds here for the Ferris State Bulldogs as the puck will be played right back in. Into the corner, Menke goes after it. Big hit that time. Oh, he stepped right into the defender, the junior defender, Derek May, as the puck is shipped all the way back down the length of the ice. That'll pretty much do it here for the Ferris power play. Just a couple of seconds remaining as they hustle it through center on left wing. Into the zone, Miller has it. And down low in the corner, Lewicki can't set it up. Taken away there, comes in front. Canisto lost his stick. And it's out of there. So Ferris and Northern, both teams back to full strength. So many power play chances. You know what? You're right, Dave. I mean, teams around college hockey more often than not struggling with the man advantage as the puck is played away. You documented it well, the struggles of Notre Dame last night when we had them here on CSTV in Ann Arbor against Michigan. This one sent to the net, and a stop that time by Brian Stewart.
Fans, please be aware that a puck or sticks are often propelled into spectator
well, Bob Daniels.
He gave us the State of the Union for the Bulldogs. We really had difficulty with penalties early on. We've come an awful long way in the discipline area. We'll play an up-tempo with a lot of speed. The kids suit up and work hard, and I think you've seen that tonight with their work ethic. They're good on the boards, they're good in corners, and they really work hard for their scoring opportunities.
Puck played down the length of the ice, and we'll get a whistle. So the faceoff comes all the way back inside. Bob Daniels, 249 career wins. He's been very happy here in Big Rapids, 16th season.
He loves it here. He loves this program. He loves the coach, and he loves to teach. Every time I talk to Bob, we always exchange thoughts on coaching and different methods of doing things and different ways to handle players, and I love listening to him. He's just got a very ethereal way about him and a calmness in his presentation of information.
He gave us the tour of the facilities here in Big Rapids at the Robert Ava Glavin Ice Arena this morning. Great to see the facilities, and the facilities are excellent here in Big Rapids. Now Dollinger to the front, loose in front. Stewart will steer that free. Now out high, Fillinger shot. That was deflected wide.
Fillinger getting himself an opportunity using his feet.
Smith plays it away for Northern Michigan. Back to center, moved along by Jorgensen on the intercept. Now a chance here, nearly sprung in front that time. It was Ferris's JT Dollinger, and the puck is played in behind the net. Out of the zone it goes, right back to center. Oliver can't handle it for Northern. So Jorgensen will steer it back at his own blue line. That one's intercepted, so Matt Case will go after it, and Jorgensen will set it up.
Yeah, you brought up a good point about the facilities here before. Very nice locker room and players' lounge area.
Big locker room.
They might have the biggest locker room in the league.
Now Haynes plays it right back to the line. He goes offside, that time because his teammate Chris Zarb was way in ahead of the play. Well, what about this kid, Mike Fillinger, out of Grand Ledge, Michigan?
He's an exciting freshman, quick feet, and he gets good shots, scored a great goal last Friday against Alaska, where he manufactured his own play. Fillinger has got good speed. I asked Bobby Daniels earlier in the week, was his speed a big asset early on for him as a big advantage? And he said he's not a big systems guy. He said all of that speed did was help him get out of position faster. I thought it was a great line. He said he's really molded himself into the Ferris system. He's become a very effective fourth liner.
That's what I love with the coaches in this one tonight. Bob Daniels and Walt Cowley, they just kind of tell you what's on their mind.
with a sense of humor, too.
Yeah, and there's no filter, and they don't mean anything negative about it. It's just very matter of fact. It's so refreshing. Mbach now goes wide, tried to cut to the net. Stewart took a bump that time, and now we're going to get a whistle. Now, is that goaltender interference? Charging, I believe, is going to be the call from Matt Shigos.
Offensive zone penalty on Ferris State. Those are the ones you don't want. It seems like those are the ones that really come back and get you. Ferris State making a good drive to the net, and you'll see the bump on the goaltender. And again, you know, the two things you factor in here. Number one, we're looking at it from a different vantage point than it looks like on the ice. But here he comes. His feet are not moving at this point, and he doesn't do a whole lot to avoid the goaltender. But then again, he might have had the opportunity to pull up.
It was a penalty. It wasn't a charging penalty. It was interference all the way as the puck is played out of there and sent right back down the lane. In my humble opinion.
You know what? I'm with you. You do have to make an attempt to avoid the goaltender at all costs. I don't think he sold his attempt to get out of the way very well.
And since we're 8 rows from the ice here in Big Rapids, we're only about 30 feet from Matt Chicos.
That's a good point.
Upended on the play, a couple of Wildcat players as Fox will play it into the corner. Now Hartung out high. Chance here for Northern to add to that lead on this power play. They lead at 2-1, all 3 goals in that second period tonight. Fox has it. He'll bang it down low. Canisto, one of the goal scorers behind the net for Matt Butcher. Now this one's taken away, and out of the zone it goes, all the way back down the lane. So in behind the net, Gustafson will set it up. And he'll bring it outside the zone, right back to center. In over the line it goes for Gregor Hansen. Into the corner, now back to the line. Miller has it. Miller's going to tee a shot, and that goes wide. Boy, a goal here for Northern, and this one goes right off the roof. In fact, it didn't come down. It's sitting up there somewhere on one of the beams, Dave.
A lot of hits in this game, Matt, and it's been physical, and it's been up-tempo, and players are paying the price along the walls, and a big hit on Miller. The creme de la creme of all the hits so far in this game. Miller's a big, strong, physical kid with a big shot. And Walt Kyle told us this kid is just scratching the surface in terms of his ability.
Out of the zone, it goes right back to center. Hansen has it for Northern. Over the line, intended for Siddle. Now played right back. Cosgrove has it.
Cosgrove's a nice story for this team. He was never a regular in the lineup his first 3 years, and now he's really bought into. He's another player who's bought into the program, got himself in better shape, worked hard in the offseason, and has established himself as a regular player in the lineup. They really weren't expecting that to happen, and he has delivered for Northern Michigan.
Well, he's a management manager out of British Columbia, spent 2 years in the BC Junior League. Walt Kyle is losing his mind. Not really sure for what. Maybe because he knows he's got about a 6-hour trip back to Marquette on the lung after this one.
And it's going to be colder there.
Oh my. So out of the zone it goes, and now Gustafson can't keep. He'll move it along with his hand, but it's cleared back for Miller. Miller over the line, trying to get it in front, just flipped wide by Fillinger. Gustafson has it, and he'll set it up for Sauer.
Miller with 52 points as a rookie in the USHL in Des Moines, and boy, did he light the world on fire.
Maltese has it. Maltese, one of the goal scorers here tonight. Well, the puck is played out of there, and Miller will bring it right back to center. Lead pass Connolly. Here he comes. Hit over the line. Wrister stopped that time by Brian Stewart. Comes back out high. Case, a shot that time just deflected through the crease.
Now, this kid Case gets his shots through. Whether there's traffic or not, he's pretty poised, and he's pretty accurate in getting the puck where he wants it.
Oh, Connolly plays it along the boards. Back to the line it goes. Matt Case will play it in behind the net. Lewandowski is there. Jorgensen trying to work it towards the net, denied, and out of the zone it comes for Northern.
You try to force one there.
Into the zone it goes. Fox has it. Shot on! Stopped that time by O'Keefe. Ferris trails by one. A thriller in Big Rapids. NCAA hockey on CSTV.
Kari Rigg is a real Geico customer, not a paid celebrity. So to help tell her story, we hired Peter Frampton.
My car was totally smashed in an accident.
No, the great way to start the morning.
And the tow truck the police called damaged it even more.
I wanted to pull my hair out.
Geico handled everything quick and easy. It felt great.
Do you feel like I do?
Geico. Real service, real savings.
I'm a single mother of 2 kids. I work a lot. I come home tired. We do miss a lot. He dropped off for a whole month. Sometimes I would talk to him and he wouldn't even turn around and look at me. I would just get frustrated because in any way that I talk to him, it just doesn't go through his head. I didn't give up because there's always hope that they'll snap out of it.
Give your teen the boost they need to graduate. Call 1-877-4A-KID or join us at boostup.org for tips and advice.
Now you can get extra cash. Recycle your old gold that's gathering dust. Call the number on your screen for quick cash. The Gold Kit is absolutely free. Send broken and outdated items like old rings, charms, chains, and more.
I got $1,000 for my old gold jewelry. It's safe, it's fast, it's easy, and the Gold Kit is free.
We'll mail you a free personalized Gold Kit for safe shipping in our new virtually indestructible TruTech mailer for maximum protection. Your check will follow promptly.
I called and got my free Gold Kit. I sent in my jewelry and they sent me my check.
The Gold Kit and postage are free. Your satisfaction guaranteed. Here's how it works. Call for your free Gold Kit, then gather your old gold jewelry, send it in the free postage-paid TruTech mailer, and get your cash fast.
I'm going on vacation with the money I got for my old gold jewelry.
Don't wait. Take your old gold jewelry and turn it into cash now. Call the number on your screen now or visit goldkit.com.
1 year ago, Christian Cage defeated Kurt Angle to retain his world title. Now the Instant Classic looks to take back the title he never lost. Kurt Angle, 12-time world and Olympic champion. Christian Cage, obsessed with his pursuit of absolute power in TNA. Only one man will reign supreme. TNA Wrestling presents Final Resolution. This month on DirecTV Pay-Per-View.
Trivia question. Ferris State head coach Bob Daniels, 1 win shy of 250. Who did he get his first win against? Dave, any guess?
And not even I'll guess Michigan.
I'll say Laurentian. That wasn't on my radar screen. 11-2, and it was not an exhibition game. It did count as a regular season win. How cold can it be in Laurentian tonight?
Not much colder than it is here.
If it's up by the Laurentian divide, it's got to be at least 15, 20 below.
It just doesn't matter.
If it's 18 in Atlanta, it's cold everywhere. Glove save that time by Stewart. Now Riley moves it back to the line. That time Welch left the point a little too early. Puck is played back in over the line. A bit of a free play here for Northern as now Dorich will play along for Miller.
Yeah, one thing Walt Kyle said to me earlier in the week is, you know, they're working on working. Not anything specific, but they're just working on working. And I think they've worked pretty hard last night watching the film, and I think they've worked pretty hard tonight. This is the kind of response I think he wanted from his team after a disappointing weekend against Wayne State last weekend.
Cody Chupp skates it out. Well, Chupp will try to flip it along. Got drilled by Oliver there. Bit of a high stick. Oliver and Chupp have words as they head to the bench. Play it back the other way. Redmond, he got Actually upended Hansen as the puck is played in behind the net. Redmond has it.
Last Friday night, Redmond had 10 shots on goal. He was unbelievable. He's one of those guys that can sneak one on net and hit Twine if he gets an opportunity.
Played right back in. Hansen in behind the net. 11.5 or so remaining in this third period. A shot on that time. Canisto couldn't put it home, and now the puck is played in behind the net. Hansen got slammed that time, the Northern Michigan player. And it's played out of there, and Cosgrove back to center ice for the Wildcats. Here's Mbach. Intercepts. Mbach trying to do a toe drag that time to the front of the net. Nothing doing. Now Redmond will keep it at the right point. He fanned on it, and Siddle will get it the other way. Here comes Siddle, 29, Matt Siddle over the line, shot stopped that time.
They transition a defense so well off of that fan shot by Redmond.
Now Cosgrove got it towards the net, Mbach knocks it out, and here comes Ferris. Redmond leads the rush, but he passed it right to a defender on Northern. Hartung has it, right side, shot on, stopped O'Keefe. Big rebound, here's another chance, and he scores! The inside of the post.
Wow, a broken play in front of the net. Northern Michigan takes command of the game. I love the fact that they're just shooting the puck. Good things happen when the puck goes to the net, and a broken play in front, and they're able to convert. Watch him follow his rebound to the front of the net, picks up the loose puck. Now he's got the backhand, goes up top. What a goal by Hartung. That line, the fourth line for Northern Michigan's got 2 goals, and that's a goal scorer's goal in any league. Top shelf, short side, backhand, following his own rebound. What a play.
So 3-1 Northern Michigan. They trailed this game way back early in the second, 1-0. They've come back with 3 unanswered. Walt Kyle's team, their confidence shaken last weekend, being swept at home to Wayne State, a program that's going to be dropped at the end of the season. Now the puck is played away, and they lost last night as well.
Well, what do we say? They're working on working, and they certainly are tonight.
Now the puck played right back to the front. Stewart was leaning the wrong way, no problem. Cosgrove has it. Knocked away and cleared out of the zone. I guess you change it up a little bit if you're Walt Kyle. Nothing up the middle here in the last half of this period. Serrata has it now, and his shot is stopped by O'Keefe. Meanwhile, if you're Ferris, you got to bring it out a little bit. 3-1. Hartung the latest score for Northern.
It begins innocently enough. You don't return a phone call. You break a date at the last minute. But in fact, it's the beginning of a pattern. And soon, your friend with mental illness realizes you're avoiding them. But what if you knew that your friendship was the key to their recovery? Would you still lock them out of your life?
If you think the level of competition is impressive, wait till you see the level of coverage. High school meets high impact with MaxPreps.com. America's most comprehensive source for high school sports. Find out how your local teams compare, who's in the hunt to be state champs, and which teams and players are leaving their stamp on the national stage. Get pumped on your high school teams. Log on to MaxPreps.com.
We love college hockey. Hockey. On CSTV television. Something romantic. Yeah. About the camaraderie. All the different arenas. The rinks. And guys with their sticks. I got a stick. With a man in uniform and dark emery. Oh, I want some plastic and hat trick and puck flick and body check and board wrecking college hockey on CSTV.
Watch Air Force at Army. Friday at 8. Only on CSTV.
I tackled new challenges and got a new view on life.
I got involved and met new friends.
I went to Northern Michigan University for me.
Thousands of students each year enter into one of nearly 200 academic programs offered at Northern Michigan University.
And each full-time student is issued a notebook computer.
The rest of your life begins now.
Northern.
Naturally.
The men's basketball season is pumping. You don't want to miss a single beat. Can John Calipari continue to lead his Tigers to another #1 seed? Or will Tulsa stop them in their tracks? Watch Memphis versus Tulsa, Wednesday at 8. NCAA men's basketball. Possession, CSTV.
Well, they have really rolled out the red carpet for us. Ferris State even bringing out the signs welcoming us to Big Rapids. Meanwhile, the dog pound at the other end, Dave. Their guys are down 3-1. What's the strategy in the dog pound right now?
Keep screaming. You're a college kid. That's all you want to do with the hockey game. Keep screaming.
Oh, maybe we should have student sections and cheering sections have a playoff. Maybe the dog pound up against the Grateful Red, which we'll see next week.
I'll put the former Section 8 at Walter Brown Arena in Boston with the BU guys up against anybody. That was some group.
Adam Welch will play it in behind the net. Just having a whole lot of fun tonight in Big Rapids. Not a lot of fun right now for the Bulldogs as they trail by 2. Puck played right back in, and Cosgrove will settle it down for Northern. Back to center ice for Oliver. Now Oliver over the line. He drops it for Fox. Fox, wrist shot, O'Keefe. Boy, he's been solid. Square up on the shots. Maybe a bit of a problem with rebound control. Players flying all over the crease. And finally taken away by Ferris. And here they come, Miller to center. Now Miller will get it in over the line. Play into the corner. Now back in behind the net. Connolly has it. To the front, right through the crease. Nobody there for Ferris. Adam Welch down low for Connolly. Comes back in front. This one's flipped along by T.J. Miller, but they can't clear. Good keep by Welch. To the front! It's right at the step! And finally knocked away, and the net comes off. Oh, Ferris comes so close that time. Right in front of the net was Adam Miller.
Number in tonight's pot of gold drawing.
Well, don't forget Friday night, CSTV will be bringing you more action on the ice. Watch as the Atlantic Hockey Association's top offense, Air Force, takes on the conference's top defense, Army. Who's going to win out? Find out when we drop the puck. NCAA hockey. And don't forget, Brian Riley, the head coach of Army, will wear a mic, and he'll be live during the game for an inside look live of the Army bench boss. And it's only on CSTV. It's something we're going to try. We can't wait to do it. It's going to be a great matchup, and all the extras as well, Dave.
This should be very cool, and I think it's going to be neat to hear what Riley will be talking to his team about during the time of the game that we're focused on him solely. You'll see the game in one box, him in another, and it's going to be pretty neat.
Well, we were at West Point a couple of years ago for that game against Mercyhurst, and a lot of fun. It was special going to West Point. It's going to be special Friday night as well right here on CSTV. Menke over the line. He'll set it up in the corner. Well, he gets upended. A couple of players, including Hartung, down low for Northern Michigan. Well, Menke still has it. Coming away with it this time is Cody Chupp. Redmond tried to bat it out of midair, and he'll chip it in behind the net.
Redmond was a forward before he became a defenseman. He's a really good offensive defenseman, but he was a forward for a long time, and I would think down 2 goals, Redmond has the green light exclusively to get in the play, pinch down the walls, and go to the net if he sees an opportunity.
And over the line, knocked away. Fillinger has it, sent towards the net, right there! And Stewart got a glove on it. Now Fillinger again, denied. Fox will clear it out of there for Northern, all the way back to center ice.
I think it's an important game for Stewart. He has held the fort under some pressure from Ferris State. He's playing in a hostile environment in front of the dog pound, who's continued to tell him how badly he stinks, and he has kept his focus.
Oliver gets it in. He goes down low. Now behind the net. Play back to the line. Dorich has it. Moves it along. Cosgrove sent towards the net. Never made it to O'Keefe. Ollinger can't handle it, so Cosgrove at center, and he'll dump it right back inside the Ferris zone. Bulldogs trailing the Wildcats by 2. Time down to 7:10 remaining in the third period in regulation. Right back to center ice. Cosgrove flips it along. Hansen will give chase, but it's Adam Welch in behind the net. Welch for Ferris. Now they'll move it out of the zone, and here comes Miller on left wing. Miller lead past Connolly on the right side. Over the line, he finds the trailer. It's Welch, but he overskated it. 2-on-1 the other way, Northern. In over the line, Butcher trying to get it back to his teammate. That time, Gregor Hansen, but he's broken up on the play. And Connolly will settle it up for Miller.
I'd say Evan Case and Adam Welch as a defense pair is as good as any defensive pair in the CCHA. They are really good and really strong, and they're playing as well tonight as Ruth and Sheehan did last night. They've seen quality ice time against good lines.
Matt Butcher in the corner. He'll get it down low. Now Cody Chuck takes it away for Ferris. Back of the line it goes. Gustafson. Chuck took a run at him. Puck goes in behind the Ferris net. Tell you what, general consensus around the CCHA is there's 4 teams, cream of the crop. Miami, Michigan, Michigan State, and Notre Dame. But I got to tell you, the battles that are going to be going along in the middle part of the conference down the stretch are going to be special. These 2 teams have been well represented, I think, here tonight.
See, the thing with the CCHA is this. Once you get through that first round where the bottom 8 teams are going to play and the top 4 get the bye.
Stop by Stewart.
You'd better be very awake when you play an opponent.
That one came close on the clearing attempt. 3-1 Northern. Come on, Walt. Be happy. You got the lead.
I can only imagine when that day comes.
Time Life presents the complete 10-CD Songs Forever collection. And now you can preview the entire Songs Forever collection in your home for 30 days for just $9.95. But wait, be one of the first 500 callers to order with your credit card and get free shipping and handling.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord.
Plus, order in the next 10 minutes with your credit card and get this free bonus CD, Power Ballads of the heard. Simply send it back and owe nothing more.
Call 1-800-791-8998 to preview Songs Forever for $9.95 plus free shipping with credit card order.
Explore new worlds. Read. Visit literacy.gov and let the journey begin.
Well, you go back to 1991, Dave. St. Paul, Minnesota, the site, the old Civic Center. Northern Michigan winning the NCAA.
And they won it against the Boston University team that had Tony Amante and Sean McEachran, Keith Kachuk. That was some team that won that game.
Well, Kyle, part of that coaching staff, and look around the CCHA at the coaches that are currently head coaches at their alma maters. A who's who list there for sure.
Speaking of that championship, that was 91. Walt was an assistant to Rick Comley for that championship, and obviously Rick winning a second national championship last year.
The one team on that list we won't see this year on CSTV is Bowling Green, but boy, Scotty Pollock got them turned around.
It's funny,
this one sent to the front.
He was sheepish about their chances in preseason, but he kind of conveyed that he liked his team.
Out of the line, Redmond has it. Redmond skates in, shot, stop Stewart. And a face-off coming up. Oh, the dog pound didn't like that.
I like the play by Redmond, though, at the blue line to keep the puck in and take some space that was available to him. Look at the play he makes. He knows he's got daylight, and then he waits as almost a screen sets up for him. Look at him. Hesitates. Good, quick snapshot. And Stewart, as he has been all night, top of the crease, and then the crease gets cleared afterwards.
Ryan Stewart gave up the game's first goal. He's shut the door since. Out of the line it goes. Redmond has it. Redmond looking around. Redmond, wrister blocked away. Good read there. A couple of guys out high for Ferris. Fillinger all over the net that time as the Bulldogs come close. 2-on-1 developing. In over the line it goes. Holding. And now shooting Albert to the front. He had Fox, but he can't bury. Rebound, score! Second time the
It was a 2-on-1 because Redmond pinched, and he had to, so you can't blame him. When it came back the other way, Northern Michigan went to the net. They went hard. They got a rebound, and they kept going. This is the third goal that they have scored in this game where they went hard to the net with reckless abandon. Good individual move to get the puck to the net by Oliver, and then they just kept banging away at it. O'Keefe can't control the rebound. Then he gets caught down. He can never recover. When a goalie is that big, can't get up, it's a major problem for him to move side to side. And O'Keefe couldn't cover the ground. He didn't have a whole lot of help in front of him.
Northern not laying back. Phil Fox out of Stillwater, Minnesota, where he was the team MVP of his high school team. Puck played all the way down the length of the ice. And behind the net, they'll try to move it along. Now Ferris really digging a hole. Just 4.5 minutes remaining, and they got to come back just for a tie. 3 goals. This one shot blocked away. Brian Stewart in the second half of this game. He is the Northern Michigan goaltender. He's been getting great support out in front. Puck played away. Connolly has it in the corner. Canisto watching him. Now Connolly down low. 2 Northern players in front, and stopped that time by Stewart. Had the double stack that time, did the Wildcats, and the puck is played out of there.
Well, this game far from over, even though it's a 3-goal lead. With the way Ferris has brought it, they've got a chance to score 2 or 3 if they can get some opportunities again.
To the front it goes. Siddle overskated it. Played in behind the net. Now behind the net they go to the front again. Hartung is there, and now everybody on the top of Mitch O'Keefe. Well, if Northern holds on, Dave, it'll be a great way for them to get back into the West, into the win column, I should say. But both of these teams don't exactly have an easy stretch run towards the CCHA playoffs, because guess what? Starting in February, how would you like to have Michigan, Michigan State, and then a tough trip to Ohio State 3 weeks in a row? And don't forget Nebraska, Omaha, and Lake Superior, no slouches either.
Yeah, Walt Kyle said, you know, we can't really focus on who we're playing. We have to focus on us. And again, their mantra is we're working on working. And I think they've done a great job of that tonight.
Back of the line it goes, and Cosgrove will send one wide. Bumped in behind the net. You talk to a lot of the NHL coaches, and maybe that's why Walt Kyle feels this way. But so many NHL coaches, they don't worry about the other team. They just worry about their teams getting better. Maybe that's a pro influence from Walt Kyle. Now here's a chance in front. Stopped O'Keefe. Oh, and a sliding shot. Kind of through midair that time by Mark Oliver.
I'll tell you what, Oliver's been good. You can tell he's a coach's kid. He's just got savvy and instincts and good hockey sense. He gets pucks to the net. He does a lot of little things right.
Rink rat.
Exactly right. And he drives the net here, and even though he's going down, he stays with it. Good read to pick the puck up off the wall. And he gets it to the net. I thought a strong save by O'Keefe. And he gets pulled down in the process.
The move he made to the net in just a split second really caught Ferris flat-footed.
And his brother was just like it. His dad, John, very successful coach in the minor leagues, won a championship with the Idaho Steelheads. They play at the AA level of minor league hockey.
East Coast League, right?
They were the West, no, what league were they? They were the West Coast League. Back when they were playing, there was a league called the West Coast Hockey League, and that's where Idaho was playing at the time. Now I believe they're in the East Coast League. Or it's actually called the ECHL now. They've dropped the East Coast moniker.
That Western League might have been the only league I've never worked in. So we get a whistle here and a stoppage. So Bob Daniels down by 3. It's not going to get any easier for the Ferris State Bulldogs. A dangerous home-and-home with Jim Culhane's Broncos of Western Michigan. Then how about Notre Dame and Miami on back-to-back weekends?
And then they got to go to PG, and that's not going to be easy either.
This one sent right in by Gustafson. He'll play it to the corner. Now the 2:45 remaining in the third period of play here tonight. Plenty of shots in this one. We've racked up 71 between the two teams. Great pace as Connolly will bring it over the line. Now Connolly towards the net, Stewart, and he stopped. And now it seems like Ferris is going awfully hard to their goaltender. I don't think Walt Kyle is all that happy right now. I'm sure he's going to be keeping an eye on all of this. Not so much of a maybe send the message because it's the second night of a weekend series, but that man there, Brian Stewart, has been very, very good here tonight.
Yeah, he's been the story of the game, and I think he has loudly been the story of the game. He's made a lot of big saves for him, and he hasn't had to make a lot of dangerous second saves. And the ones that he's had to, he's been equal to the test. But early on in this game, I think he set the tone by making a ton of big saves in the first period.
Redmond will take it down low in the corner. Looks to lock it up. They'll continue to battle for it. Boy, you rarely see a whistle when the puck is locked up in the neutral zone, as this one's flipped right back in. Wojciechowski has it. He'll get it out. Nope. Kept at the line, and now it's back to the line where Miller will move it along. Miller will bring it in over the line. Miller holding, trying to go wide. This one's knocked away by Northern. Out of the zone, it goes back to center for Hansen. In over the line it goes. Hansen holds, drops it off, and a shot right on. O'Keefe makes the save. Now in behind the net, Northern trying to set it up, and this one's going to be flipped over the glass and out of play. And Dave, while we have this opportunity, I just want to send a thanks out to our sports information directors from both schools, Dave Fiala from Northern Michigan and Joe Gorby, and all his help here at Ferris State.
Absolutely. And another guy at Ferris State has been here a while. The building's been here since '74. That's Robert Boyce. He's been here since '75 and has been a fixture in that booth all this time. There was a game between Notre Dame and Ferris State a few years back. Two players in the penalty box were jawing at each other. He's trying to write things down to get the penalties all sorted out. He's got a commanding presence. He gets up and he turns to both of them. He says, "Hey, both of you guys, sit down, shut up. I've got work to do." He settled it all down. He's been the policeman in there ever since.
He didn't say, "Be quiet, I'm trying to hear the song." Another slap shot reference for you there as the puck is played away. Connolly has it. Turnover here. To the front, Lewandowski. Maybe getting a piece that time, Brian Stewart.
Now the puck was rolling and Lewandowski let it play him as opposed to stepping into it, which is what he wanted to do. But with it on edge, if he stepped too close, he could have missed.
Out of the zone it goes and flipped right back in. Closing it on a minute remaining in regulation. Well, the puck will be played away. Well, this is going to be a huge win for the Wildcats of Northern Michigan. They will move back to the 500 mark on the road. They haven't been very good at home, just 3-8-1, and overall 10-15-1 they will move to. And Ferris State will be a 500 hockey team at 10-10-2, and they'll fall to a 4-6-2. We asked Bob Daniels about that. You know, Big Rapids has always been a house of horrors in history for teams coming in here, but Bob said, you know, as of late, over the last couple of 3 years, we've struggled at home.
He said, you know, we've been more of a defensive team lately, and he wonders if when they're playing at home, they get out of their style a little bit.
Try to put on a show?
Absolutely. They put on a great show tonight. They just couldn't score. I mean, if you're Bob Daniels, you can't be upset about the work ethic tonight. You can't be upset about how well they played offensively tonight. They have 39 shots on goal and a lot of good ones. They just got beaten by a couple of broken plays in front of their own net.
Well, out of the zone it goes, and Oliver will bring it along. And one thing Northern did not do, they did not sit back with a lead tonight, and that's been a key to their success. Fox has it. Knocked off the puck by Menke, down to 20 seconds remaining. Out of the corner it goes, and in behind the net, Adam Welch got up, and she goes, had the arm raised halfway up and said, oh, what the heck. 9 seconds, Dorich. And now he'll bring it around back to center ice. Fox tries to get it inside the zone, and what a big win on the road. Northern Michigan University over Ferris State tonight. Congratulations to the Wildcat as they are able to gain the split, and it's their first win here at Ava Glavin Ice Arena since December the 9th of 2005. Talk about your house of horrors.
Well, it was a good effort by Northern Michigan. It's a game they needed, and it certainly puts them back in the frame of mind as they hit a very difficult part of their schedule.
So while Kyle all of a sudden happy, I don't know if we got a smile out of him, but his goaltender Brian Stewart tonight was terrific. And the final score, Northern Michigan 4, Ferris State 1. It'll be a happy trip up north.
It's going to be a long one, but they'll certainly be smiling.
So the handshake line here in Big Rapids, it's been a lot of fun, and what a night, a cold one, but we saw a very entertaining hockey game. The final, Northern wins it 4-1 for Dave Starman and our entire CSTV crew. I'm Matt McConnell. For more, log on to CSTV.com, the ultimate destination for scores, news, highlights, and analysis. This has been a presentation of CSTV, the 24-hour college sports network from CBS Sports. So long from Big Rapids, Michigan. Thanks for watching.